Scuffles have broken out once again at Sibanye's Beatrix mine in Theunissen. Earlier today, the mine suspended operations following skirmishes last night between members of the National Union of Mine Workers and rival union AMCU. 9 workers were injured when a fight broke out, while AMCU officials were meeting the company's management to sign a recognition agreement. The NUM lost tens of thousands of members to AMCU in the Platinum Belt in a brutal turf war that erupted in 2012. Now the NUM is struggling to hold on to its members as AMCU spreads its influence into other mining sectors like gold. Well, our reporter Palesa Moeti is at the Beatrix mine in the Free State. Palesa, good day. I see more scuffles this afternoon. Are police not coping?
I must admit that tensions still remain high here at the Beatrix #1 shaft. Police are still present. There's a strong police presence in the area. Also, I'd like to say that an ambulance just rushed out one of the mine workers that was injured in another scuffle that broke out about an hour and a half ago. And we also saw another ambulance as well as police vehicles rushing towards the direction of the mine hostel. We're not sure exactly what's going on there because we've been removed from the mine premises, but tensions do remain high.
Now, Sibanye is shutting down operations this morning. I understand they've given a press briefing earlier today. What's management saying about the latest situation?
Well, management has condemned the latest violence. They say that they're in talks with both NUM and AMCU. And they're trying to get the two unions to resolve, the violence between the two of them. But at this stage, there is no peace deal that's on the table at this stage.
Yeah, and I suppose what's worrying is that a full-blown turf war between the unions might emerge once again. What are the positions of the unions themselves, both AMCU and the NUM?
Okay, let me just go back a little bit about what the mine has said. They said that they will, or rather operations will remain suspended until a peaceful resolution has been obtained. But earlier we spoke to NUM that has called for the suspension of the leaders of AMCU who actually organized yesterday's mass meeting. They say that those are the people that actually have instigated the violence that we've seen yesterday as well as today. And also AMCU is accusing NUM of the very same thing of instigating violence. So it's actually both parties blaming one another for what is occurring. But actually what started this whole these confrontations, if I may put it that way, is yesterday when members of AMCU had to leave for the mass meeting, which was at the #4 shaft. Apparently a vehicle owned by one of the NUM members stopped in the middle of the road and tried to block the bus from passing, and that's when actually all this tension started simmering. By then already AMCU members of AMCU reported to the leaders at the meeting that they'd received death threats from members of NUM just before they left. So when they returned from the meeting, that's when all hell broke loose and people got injured, confrontations began, and police were called to the scene.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks very much indeed. Situation still tense there at the Beatrix mine in the Free State. Well, from that province, let's cross over to Gauteng now. Our reporter Diabo Setu is in Carltonville. She's spoken to Sibanye management on the latest developments. Diabo, good afternoon. So I understand management has spoken to you. What's the latest from their side?
Good afternoon, Devon. Yes, we have spoken to the management of Sibanye. I spoke to Mr. James Welstead, who's the relations manager. They have confirmed that operational disruptions at Beatrix due to inter-union rivalry are currently taking place. They remain very concerned about what's happening in Beatrix. They've had to halt operations, as Palesa, my colleague, has already mentioned. And unfortunately, this is obviously costing the company. He says in the range of around 9 million rands a day that Sibanye is losing. I've had the opportunity also to check the share prices just a few minutes ago, and so far of all the gold mining companies, Sibanye has lost about 2% of its shares. which means that the market is also could be responding to what's happening at Beatrix, and that it may not be liking what's happening at Sibanye right now very much.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there, Diabo Setu. Speaking to management, 9 million rands a day losing out as far as Sibanye is concerned, and those skirmishes also hurting the share price.